Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum. What's up, party people of the AACL, the All-American Collegiate League? What's going on? What's happening? What the fuck is cracking? You know what's cracking? Opening fucking night. That's what's cracking. That's what's up. Welcome to all the party people in the chat. I see you. I will be to you shortly. But welcome to the very first episode of AACL TueNight. Two as in Tuesday, because we will always do this show on Tuesday night. I'll be with you guys in the chat. Oh my God, chat is popping already. What's up, party peeps? Good to see everybody. Here's what's going to go down. For this first week, maybe the first week or two, the format for this show is going to be a little bit different because I didn't have time to build out a proper show to look like an Access Live type of show like we used to do. That is in the works, by the way. That will happen. However, for the first week or two, while I'm busy getting player builds done, rosters done, gear done, all that shit, this has kind of been on the back burner. So eventually, at some point, you'll get to see my beautiful face again. We'll have some cameras, see if the guests want to be on camera, yada, yada, yada. Ray in the chat saying, just got the budget approved. Hey-o. But I will say that we're still going to have a great show tonight. Here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about week 1 matchups. We're going to talk about the week 15 rivalries, just kind of go over that so you guys know about them. We're going to announce the school playbooks, which playbooks 80s have known for about a week. I'm going to make it public tonight. We have a very interesting ranking system for this very first week, so we'll share that with you. Some of us will be going over our pick'ems, and then we'll wrap things up at the end of the show with tonight's matchups. I'm going to try to get to the point where I can upload the pictures from the AACL swag that came in the mail to me today. If I don't get to it, then I'll share it in the server afterwards, like between the show and the first game. The only last thing I want to talk about is Season 1 schedule is almost complete. It'll be out later this week, probably on Friday, for the balance of it. You know week 1, you know week 15, so all you need to know now is, weeks 2 to 14, and that will be that. My sidekick on Welcome to the AACL Tonight, Episode 1, and hopefully episodes from now on, is going to be my man from Notre Dame, the quarterback, the head coach, the man, the myth, the wannabe legend. It's Ray Bashan in the house. Ray, what's up, bro?
A wannabe legend? I am a legend. What are you talking about? Only a short little while in that preseason, and everybody's already calling me the legend.
I think you misunderstood what it was another L word, but I think you misheard it. Hey yo. Anyway, Ray, welcome to being my sidekick. How you like it? Do you like it so far? I already made fun of you one time, and I just introduced you.
Yeah, I can see why everybody abuses their power when you're gone.
Why nobody wants to do the show with me. Hey yo. But anyway, Ray, thanks for being here, bro. We're gonna have a good show tonight. We're gonna talk about a lot of material, so I appreciate you being on, and hopefully this will be a continued thing.
I definitely hope so.
All right, folks. So let's go. First things first. Let's talk about week 1 matchups. I'm going to have a couple other people jumping on the show, too, by the way, later on in the show. Oh, before we get to week 1 matchups, fuck, I almost, you know what? Fuck the chat, I guess, right? Because I just went right on. Let's see who's the first one in.
You're fired.
Michaela was the first one in. And then Zach, is that Zach Benjamin? Is that what his last name is? The guy who doesn't know how to spell Zach? Michaela and Zach and Michaela and Zach and Michaela and Zach. Is there anybody else in the fucking chat? Who else is in here? Holy crap. I got to scroll all the way down to get to Crazy Canuck, to get to Cuddy Rob, to Freddie. Trammell. Freddie, where you been, bro? We've been missing you. We need you to sing at the end of the tournament. We missed you. I had to do my own version of Turn Out the Lights, the Party's Over, the remix. I think it's the #1 seller already, though, so... Stream Elements in the house as always. Bob Funk, Ray Bashan. Ray, you're in 2 places at once, bro. Nathaniel Diggs. Blake is here. Yugi Dre and I paused it. Sorry. Yugi Dre, Beard on Blast, Gunny, Ronnie Shanahan, James Walters, Bryant fucking Jefferson. We need a T-shirt that just says BFJ, say my name, or something like that. What do you think about that, Ray?
Man, that'd be a top seller.
It would be a top seller. I put it right up there with David Leather's new shirt. David Leather's new shirt is fucking bomb. Beard on Bass Gunny, James Walters. Goals official. Goals. That's Krieg. Fox Highwind in the house, along with Joseph Delaney. And is that it? Is that everybody? If I missed you, go ahead and at me in the chat. And I'll throw your shout out. All right, so Season 3, Week 1. Nate Hall's in the house. Nate Hall's, what's up? Did I scroll over you, bro? I didn't even see your name in there, man. Say my name. Say my name. We're going to talk about everything except for tonight's matchup. So we're going to go through these. We're not going to spend a lot of time on each one. Just kind of hit the high points or whatever. But Auburn at Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, we will talk about at the end of the show as Coco Punch 88 jumps in the show here at the last minute. Good to see you. And I think that is finally everybody. So, Ray, let me start off with this Mizzou at UNLV, bro. This is a very intriguing matchup for me, or to me, because of what happened in the tournament, right? UNLV went into Missouri, the very first overtime game of Season 3, first overtime game of the season, and actually beat Missouri on their home field. Does that give UNLV an advantage now that they're traveling to UNLV? Or do you think some things have changed now, once the tournament happens, right? You get to see each other. You maybe change some playbooks up. You kind of hone in on your playbook. Is that going to change things, or do you think UNLV has the advantage here?
The way I see the preseason is everybody's just trying out that new stuff that they want to try to push into the regular season, see if their team can actually understand it and cooperate it. UNLV pulling out that close upset against Missouri at their hometown. I don't think home field advantage has anything to do with it. I think just UNLV was the better team that day.
Yeah, I actually was surprised by UNLV because UNLV, along with Virginia Tech, were the two teams that got really slow starts in recruiting. But UNLV has filled out their team very well. And I don't know if you know Doug Britton very well, but Doug Britton is a man in a lot of sim leagues that really knows what he's doing. I think there's an advantage there, too, for Doug. Kind of already know what he's doing. But what do you make of the fact that UNLV really didn't – I don't think they got a single recruit, so they're pretty much loaded up. They've got two good transfers, no recruits, and then they loaded up with just walk-ons.
That just shows the strength and resiliency that this team has right now, just to only load up on walk-ons and then go out there and defeat a Missouri team that everybody thought was going to be like in the later rounds.
Right.
It just shows how much heart they have on that team currently. Agreed.
As Sosa is jumping in the chat. Sosa, what's up? By the way, as you guys are listening, don't just listen. Interact with us. Give us your thoughts in the chat on each game, on each team, what we're talking about. Tell us if we're full of shit. Tell us if we're the smartest motherfuckers that ever walked the planet. Throw us some stuff. Gunny's the first one to take us up on our offer. He says UNLV and Grand Mama. Oh, yeah, Larry Johnson is one of my favorite teams to watch out for in Season 3. I agree with that, Gunny. I think UNLV might be the number one sleeper team. Your thoughts on that before we move on to the next game, Ray?
I don't see UNLV as a sleeper. I see them as strategically just watching the competition and seeing what all they have to offer.
All right. Miami travels to Iowa. Now, this was a pretty ugly game in the tournament, right? Miami doubles up Iowa 70-35. Miami, through two games, I believe it was the highest scoring team in the tournament. Then they hit a couple brick walls. I don't remember where that game was, but this game in Iowa, I kind of think Iowa might be a sleeper team because they kind of just messed around the tournament. I don't really think that they put in what they're going to run in the regular season in the tournament. What do you think about this Miami-Iowa matchup?
Iowa has a chance to redeem themselves after that ugly loss in the preseason, and I believe Iowa has that opportunity to do so tonight. They have looked at that game footage constantly over and over again. They've had that revenge in their hearts, and they are wanting to take down that U.
Hey, by the way, we can't talk about Iowa without hitting the soundboard with one very specific soundboard. Am I wrong or am I right?
You gotta get Swifty. You gotta get Swifty in here.
Ray, I think that's why Iowa is a lot of people's favorite team. It has nothing to do with Zach Holdorf. It has nothing to do with the play on the field. It has nothing to do with the players waving to the children in the hospital. I think it's all about the Swifty song. Am I right or am I right?
No. I don't think you are right there.
That wasn't an option, bro. I only gave you two options.
I'm making my own option.
Oh, fuck. In the chat, real quick, Nate Hall says, ugly Iowa ain't got no alibi. They ugly. What? They ugly. Eagle, the first person in the chat to actually talk some sense. It says, oh, my God, it's Dave Axis. Oh, my God, he is the best. Keith saying that game was in Iowa. So, Ray, my follow-up question to you then, if I already got spanked by 35 points at home against this team, do they really stand a chance this week?
Again, Iowa has looked at that game footage over and over again. They know what to do against Miami this time.
Gunny says Iowa has Holdorf. Holdorf equals a third-time toilet bowl participant. That would suck, Ray. Could you imagine going to 3 straight toilet bowls out of only 3 toilet bowls?
I mean, you got to defend something.
I mean, there you go. I don't think they
roasted.
They won the first one, but they lost the second one. So they're 1-1 at least. So I guess best 2 out of 3. What do you think?
Yeah, they got to get that third. We got a best of 3 series in mind, and they just have to get there.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Moving on to Florida at Tennessee. Now, these guys also played in the tournament. My recollection is that Tennessee had a really big lead, and then Florida came back and squeaked it out at the end. This game, though, will not be at Florida. It will not be at a neutral field. It will be at Neyland Stadium, one of the toughest places to play in all of college football.
Was not at Florida the first time.
No, yeah, I said it was not at Florida. Or did I say it was at Florida?
Yeah.
I meant it was not at Florida is what I said.
It's not at Florida this time. No, it's at Tennessee again.
Wait, I thought it was at was it at Tennessee? I thought it was at a neutral field.
No, that was the first round of the...
Gotcha. So, Tennessee, I guess, blows it at home. So, basically, we're having an exact rematch. Florida at Tennessee. Florida, believe it or not, kind of high on a lot of people's boards. Are you high on Florida, and do you think that they're going to go in Tennessee and duplicate what they did in the tournament?
You know what? After leaving Florida, and everybody thought I would have like the whole revenge tour and whatever, I got my revenge in the preseason, first and foremost. Second of all, I still love Florida. Everything is nice about Florida, except for the damn humidity. I do have that high feeling for Florida, even though they did get that embarrassing loss to Auburn. I mean, they did go down into the losers bracket and show why they were competitive. So Florida is staying pretty high on my board.
So what about Tennessee? Tennessee kind of quiet, actually, in the tournament. But we know they're loaded, right? They've got one of the most talented quarterbacks in all the land in Rodney Dangerfield. They've got Freddie at tailback. They've got Worm. They've got James Klein. They've got a lot of talent over there. What do you make of Tennessee, and what do you make of them being so quiet in the tournament?
Well, it doesn't matter how much talent you have. It just depends on if that talent can show up to the field and be a team that is not named Virginia Tech.
We're going to get to Virginia Tech in a minute, but Virginia Tech, I don't know what it was. I mean, they did nothing. They only had 6 players on the roster. I leave for 2.5 weeks. I come back, they have a full roster. Do I just need to leave more often, Ray? Is that the catch? Is that the trick?
If you want them to get back up there, sure. You want to hear Rocky Top over and over again? Be my guest.
I love Rocky Top. As a matter of fact, we should hear it right now, Michaela.
I hear it. I hate it.
Come on, Rocky Top. Woo! All right, there you go. I got to get my woos in, bro. All right, Alabama at Kansas. Let me just say this real quick before we even talk about this game. Many of you know what happened with David Ware's mother. We posted it in the server. A bunch of us have been trying to just keep Bama together. Daniel has stepped up over there to help out. He's kind of running the program right now for Bama while David Ware is gone. So, Ray, is it fair to say, because Bama wasn't at full strength, they didn't have their AD during the tournament, is it fair to say that if he had been around, they would have done better? Or is it fair just to say that we kind of expected what we got with him being absent?
Okay. Out of my entire time watching football and everything, everybody's always told me that one person does not make the team. And to them, I say, look at the NFL and when Tom Brady got injured. Look at the NFL and when Peyton Manning got injured. Look at when Eli Manning got injured. All those teams just immediately fell down. Joe Burrow is another example. Cincinnati fell straight down after Joe Burrow's injury. One person can make this team. Unfortunately, that one person for Bama was their AD, but they still have to come out on that field and show heart and show the strength for one what their AD is doing, and two for their love of the game.
Not only was he their AD though, which is their leader off the field. He's their quarterback, which is their leader on the field. So it's kind of like a double. Like if you could lose one, maybe, right? Stay competitive. You lose both, it makes it harder. It's an uphill battle at that point. Fox Highwind says Brady got injured and Matt Castle led to him 11-5. Yeah, come on, bro. Come on, man. Gunny McGuire, we borrowed Bob Fox's liquor booze boat for the Vol Navy tailgating. I'm down with that, Gunny. I will meet you there. Let's talk about Kansas for a second, Ray. Kansas also a team that was kind of quiet in the tournament, but they have this one kind of accolade, right, that nobody else in the league has, and that is that they are the only team to ever beat Auburn. Now, it was a while ago, preseason tournament, season 2, at the end of that. But Kansas being quiet, I kind of feel like Benji holds his cards really close to the vest all the time. It's kind of hard to get a read on what Kansas is doing. What's your take on Kansas and what they did in the tournament and what they could do in the regular season?
Kansas can be one of those teams that you say it's UNLV that severely slept on. Kansas is the one that severely slept on. They go. I mean, as we talked about it before, Kansas went into Missouri and just blew them out of the water. And then Kansas came so close to knocking out Penn State this past tournament in the winners bracket.
Right.
That offense and defense is glowing for Kansas, and they have nothing to hang their heads on. They had an impressive showing in the preseason tournament. I mean, even beating Alabama in the second round, only to lose horrendously to LSU. But that's LSU. We're talking about LSU, one of the top teams in the AACL.
Well, that's a nice segue. So let's talk about this LSU-Nebraska game. You say LSU is one of the top teams in the AACL. However, Nebraska went into Death Valley and took it to them. And now they get a rematch, and Nebraska gets home field advantage. Is this really just writing on the wall that Nebraska is just going to walk away with this?
No. Again, just like previous times. I mean, I'm looking at this first week as like a redemption arc for everybody who had to take that out against the team that they had to face in the preseason. LSU got that chip on the shoulder. They know what it feels like when Nebraska's pounding on them. They know how the corn feels going up their ass.
Hey, yo. You said pounding on them and corn up the ass all in one sentence.
Exactly.
I'm proud of you,
You're
Ray.
welcome.
You're getting there, buddy.
You're welcome.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But, even after getting pounded by Nebraska in the winners bracket, they went down, they stomped Tennessee, and then they went and stopped Kansas, only just to fall short to an up-and-coming Ohio State team. LSU has, I guarantee you, LSU has figured out their problems, and they have fixed it, and they are going to take it out on Nebraska.
Okay. I have to pause the show for 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. The amazing, wonderful, perfect Pink Lisa is in the house. She says she's sorry she's late, but she is here. Pink Lisa, welcome to the show, 23 minutes late, but who's keeping track? All right, Ray. We're going to do predictions at the end, but I can kind of feel where you're going with that one, and I have a feeling this might be one that we argue about the most at the end of the show. I think Nebraska, along with Ohio State and Notre Dame, have proven and shown everybody that they might be the new kids on the block, but they are not fucking around. They're not going to get pushed around by these OGs. Do you think those are the three teams to watch out for as far as the three new teams?
Definitely. And Nebraska's got to be somewhere near the top. Nebraska almost went the entire way on the winners bracket, and even almost, like, for some reason, just decided not to show up against
shit
Auburn.
the bed against Auburn.
They don't.
Dude, that was fucking. I don't know what the fuck happened.
They saw Pink Lisa on the other side and were like, we can't do shit.
So all right, so let me bring in Keith here real quick, because Keith is waiting he's gonna jump in another segment later. But Keith, I got to bring you in here, bro. What the fuck happened against fucking Auburn with us? What happened, man?
Beard hacked the game. Clearly,
Beard hacked the game.
Obvious. I mean, come on.
I mean, is there really another logical explanation? I don't think so.
I can't think of one, Dave. It's either Beard hacked the game or it was the script.
Oh,
Call me a liar.
Hey,
Is that what you calling me?
hey, you got to keep it on the down low, bro. We can't talk about the script on the air. Come on now.
I mean, hey, listen. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, very well. Gunny saying, "Where is fucking Ray Ray? Maybe working on her touchdown dances." Here's what I have to say about that, Michaela. You might want to get the heyo and the drum ready for this one. Gunny, I don't mean to be a dick, but she's actually got to score a touchdown first before she can dance. Heyo. Thank you very much. Boonberry's in the house. Says, "Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? How many times has Dave fucked up? 0 as always, bro. 0 as always." All right, last matchup of the week before we move on to our next topic. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Very, very intriguing matchup, which to me could end up being sneakily the fucking game of the week. And I'll tell you why. Virginia Tech was a roller coaster last season, but when they poured on, they poured on. Up until this preseason tournament, they held the record for the most points scored in a game. Syracuse has one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in all the land in Taz Von Wolfswinkel. This game, if it was in Syracuse, I think I would already be going Syracuse, which obviously we'll talk later about that. But I like this matchup. I think it's going to be a close game. Robo is the one, threw over 500 yards in every single one of his tournament games, coming over from I'm sorry. Fuck, he's at UNLV now. Sorry, my bad. I mixed that up. At UNLV, I meant to say that on the UNLV part that he had thrown for that.
You're fired.
Replacing Robo is the one at Virginia Tech with Chevy Monte Carlo, who did not play well. So you've got a junior quarterback, a seasoned quarterback, against an upstart transition quarterback that played tight end last season and hasn't done well. Does this game have Syracuse written all over it? What do you think?
Syracuse football sucks.
Well, I was about to say there's a sound effect in here that I think about Syracuse, but it seems like Michaela already has it on hand.
But do they suck enough that they can't go into Virginia Tech and win?
I mean, let's see. Well, Syracuse only lost by eight to Ohio State in the first round of the winners bracket. Went down into the second and just absolutely shit the bed against Alabama. But Virginia Tech, Jesus, shit the bed against Tennessee, and then can we start the toilet bowl early?
Ouch! Ooh, do we have a sound effect for like burn? All right, we got like
Boom. Roasted.
Roasted.
I got that one.
Roasted. Ouch, bro. All right. Well, let's pretend for a minute this is the week 1 toilet bowl. Who do you got? Or actually, you can't tell me that yet. But
Exactly.
What do you think of the matchup then?
All right. I will say this though. You said was it who has the tight end converted quarterback?
Virginia Tech. Chevy Monte Carlo played tight end last season. He played quarterback this season. Did not do well in the tournament.
Okay, and you're currently talking to a man that played free safety last season and converted to a quarterback for Notre Dame and has been throwing absolute dots on that field. It does not matter what position he played last season. He can go out there and throw that ball to where it needs to be. This matchup should be a close one. I don't think it'll be a low-scoring event either.
If we had more time, I would actually argue that a cornerback would probably be a little more athletic than a tight end. It could fill the quarterback spot a little earlier, but we can save that for another day. Nate Hall says, "You're throwing dots since when?" Hey-o.
Throwing so many dots, I should get a freaking sponsorship from Dots.
Hey, whoa, hey, I like ice cream. Do you like? Everybody loves ice cream. All right, those are your week 1 matchups minus the first 2 games, according to Dave and Ray. We don't need to go over these in detail. I just wanted to pop these up real quick for a minute to remind everybody about Week 15 is rivalry week. Last season we had 2 rivals. This season we will only have 1. It really comes down to even numbers, odd numbers, that kind of thing. Bama at Auburn in Week 15. That's the Iron Bowl. Obviously that'll be a big game. Ohio State at Penn State, a little border war there. That'll be big. They hate each other as well. Kansas, Iowa for the 3rd straight season. Missouri and Nebraska, no love lost between those 2 teams. UNLV at Virginia Tech. This is the note I wanted to make, where Doug Britton, wide receiver for Virginia Tech, became the AD of UNLV and stole Robo, the quarterback from Virginia Tech, and brought him to UNLV. Tennessee at LSU, a classic SEC matchup. That'll be a fun one to watch. It will also have Gunny, the AD of Tennessee, versus Frank the Franchise Wade, the AD of LSU, both co-owners of the Bossier City Steamers. I had to pause there. I had to go. I felt like a quarterback there, Ray, going through my reads. I'm like, is it LSG? Nope. I look to that was to the left. I look to the middle. Is it ACA? Nope. I go to the right. Oh, there's my slot receiver. Boom, Bossier City. Look at that. I could play. You know what? I could be a converted wide quarterback. Fuck that. I'm gonna play quarterback.
You can go play for the Vikings.
You're fired.
Oh, ouch. Florida. I don't like the cold, bro. I can't play in the cold. Then we got Florida at Syracuse. Eagle and Wink going at it. It doesn't get much better than that in the AACL.
Orange State versus the Orange team.
Actually, 3 of those last 4 are orange, including actually 4 of the last 5 with Miami here coming up. As we wrap up rivalry week in Week 15 with the Catholics visiting the Convicts, a classic rivalry in college football. All right, here we go, folks. We've teased this. The ADs have known for over a week. As Eagle in the chat throws in his 2 cents and says, "Fuck Chad Rowland for ruining my rivalry." I almost brought it back, but it made more sense to go the other way. UNLV and Virginia Tech makes more sense, and UN Wink make more sense than the other way around. So, Crazy Canuck says, "So many dots it reads like Braille." Hey-o. All right, AACL Season 3 team playbooks. This is just for Week 1 through 5 to refresh everyone's memory. After Week 5, they can substitute 1 playbook. After Week 10, they can substitute 1 playbook. That's how we roll for this season. Let's go in alphabetical order, Ray. Auburn is going to take Houston and Ohio State, Alabama, Missouri, and Cal. Florida and Iowa are 2 of the 4 teams that are going to be doing custom playbooks. We will see the very first ever debuted custom playbook here in the AACL when Ohio State takes the field against Notre Dame tonight. Kansas is going to use the spread gen and the Ohio State offense. LSU is going to use Baylor and Oregon. Miami is going to use their own playbook and BYU. And Missouri also going to use their own playbook and Boise State. On the right side of your graphic, starting at the top, Nebraska bringing in Louisville and Troy. Notre Dame going with Houston and Troy. Ohio State, like I mentioned a moment ago, will be going custom. Penn State is going to roll with Indiana and Houston. That's a lot of Houstons. You know what? I haven't counted this up yet, Ray, but I think Houston or Troy might be the most used playbook so far. As we see another BYU, with BYU and New Mexico being played at Syracuse. Tennessee is bringing out Cal and Washington. UNLV is your 4th custom team, and wrapping things up with Virginia Tech. And they're going to go with Illinois and North Carolina State. What stands out to you here, Ray, as we look over all 16 teams times 2 playbooks for a lot of them, except for the customs? That's a lot of playbooks, man.
Yeah. The only thing that's popping out to me right now, everybody else pretty much has chosen like a team playbook except for the 4 customs. And then you just go over there to Kansas, who's got a spread gen playbook.
Oh, the only generic playbook. Yeah, good call. Interesting.
That's the only thing that pops out to me right now.
So let me see. How many Houstons do I see? I see Houston at Auburn.
I think there's 3.
I see Houston at Notre Dame and Houston at Penn State. That's 3.
Yes, there's 3 Houstons and 2 Troys.
And 2 BYUs and 2 Ohio States, 2 Missouris. How many Cals? 2 Cals. Okay, so Houston is the most used playbook. Interesting.
Yep.
And you and I are going to talk about that at the end of the show here as well. Any other thoughts on this before we move on to our rankings?
Why does the Syracuse Orange look like he wants to steal my kids?
Because he already did. Hey-o. Hey-o. Wow. What's Michaela doing over there, bro? I don't know. Actually, now that you mention it, let me look at all these. Let me look at all these. Notre Dame wants to fight nobody. They turn their back on everybody. Actually, the Nebraska guy looks a little shady, too. I wouldn't put it past that guy.
He looks like the one that's just in the alleyway. He looks like the unnecessary drug dealer.
Dude, the Iowa Hawkeye looking to the left and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish guy looking to the right look like those guys that tell you to hold them back when they want to try to fight somebody. If I look at only the Florida Gator.
You got the Florida Gator in the middle of 2 of them.
Yeah, he's like, come on, bring it. I'll fucking kick both your asses. But anyway, all right, folks, there is your First 5 weeks, the first third of the season, playbooks for season 3. And now we're going to go to rankings. Hopefully I don't fuck this up. If I fuck this up and you guys see them, I'm just going to shut the whole fucking show down. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. All right, so what we do after week 1. Doug Britton's finally in the house. Doug Britton, good to see you. Goals official. I have no clue what a cheese play is. Ask AK if there are any in there. You might want to keep that in your DMs, bro, not in public. Anyway, Rodney Shanahan saying BYU and Mexico. Who's he talking to? Houston has 3.
BYU and Mexico was Syracuse's.
Oh, gotcha. All right, here's how we. I'm sorry. Let me back up. What we do after week 1 is the ADs send me their weekly top rankings. They put all the teams 1 through whatever it is that year, 20, 24. This year it happens to be 16. Then through my calculations, if you remember last season, I just put the it's kind of like golf. I add up the numbers. The lowest scores are the top ones. But for the preseason, we do it a little different. Last preseason, I just did it myself. This preseason, I've recruited a few peeps to come help me out. Now, so I've got a top 10. Ray's got a top 10. Wink has got a top 10. And then you see it's KMP's top 10, which I'll explain what that is in a moment. And then all of those calculated together, and we figure out, and then the white week 1 you see on the far right is what your AACL Season 3 preseason rankings will be. So before we get to the rankings, let me bring Keith back in here. Keith has come up with a power ranking structure where he's actually going to use, like data and shit. It's really weird. Imagine, as opposed to just our opinions like the rest of us do. What KMP stands for, it's Keith's Methods Power Ranking. That's what I made up. It's KMP. It's Keith's Methods.
Be KMPR then?
No, because KMPR doesn't sound. I don't think it sounds. KMP sounds better. Don't you like 3?
KMPR sounds like a radio station.
Like WKRP, but different.
Yeah,
but totally different. I
for one, I say KPR. If you
all right, well, I'll. You know what, Keith? This is your deal. If you want KMPR, then I'll throw the R on there, bro. How about that?
I don't know. It's a work in progress.
Well,
you just throw an A in the middle. You can call it Campers.
Campers, WKRP in Cincinnati. What's up, Doug Britton? All right, so Keith, let me bring you in here. We talked about let me also be clear. Keith is going to do his weekly power rankings, and those will be put in the weekly ping that Michaela does. And look who wants to join us with all his road noise. What's up, Wink?
Yeah.
What's up, bitches?
Okay, hold on one sec, Wink. So the top 10, the official top 10 will be via the AD's vote. However, the power ranking will have some weight in there, and it will be factored in. But it will be a separate issue as well that will be put in the weekly ping each week by Michaela. So that being said, let me bring Keith back with his KMPR, and so he can kind of explain real quick, just over a couple minutes, his methodology and what he's using to come up with his power rankings. Keith, the floor is all yours, buddy.
Cool. Thanks, Dave. So, as most people know, the way that we do rankings in the AACL is similar to the AP poll in the sense that there's a lot of people that give their own opinions, and then they all the rankings are compiled based on those opinions. You know, we have the AP poll in real life where it's a bunch of old farts that are all biased that try and screw with the rankings as much as they can.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry.
Michaela, is that your version of the hand talking gif?
Hey, Michaela, you're fired.
That wasn't Michaela that did that sound.
Oh shit!
Oh wow! I see how it is.
Michaela just got blamed for shit.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
All right,
Keith,
so,
go ahead and finish up, buddy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So basically, my thought process was, well, I'm an engineer by trade. I like to do things with data instead of with feelings. So the basic idea was to expand upon this idea that if you win, you move up. If you lose, you drop down. And the general idea is if you win a game where it's not surprising that you win, you only move up one spot. If you win a game where it's a little more surprising, it could be called an upset, you move up 2 spots. And if you win an upset game on the road, you move up 3 spots. And on the contrary, if you lose a game where it's not necessarily surprising that you lose, you drop 1. And the same logic applies for upset losses and home upset losses, where you would drop 1, 2, or 3. Now, that alone doesn't take into account margin of victory, which I think is something that the AP poll and coaches poll and polls in real life all get wrong. So what I've implemented is trademark this phrase right here, the blowout index. So if the margin of victory or loss is by 17 or more, increase the number of spots that you move by 1. So instead of 1, 2, 3, it'd be 2, 3, and 4. So the basic idea is you take what the rankings were previously, you apply that criteria to the 1 through 16 rankings, and you recompile them, and that's your new ranking. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of ties and whatnot. And in the case of ties, the tiebreakers would be in this order: head-to-head, record against similar opponents, win-loss record, and if all those are, if none of those break the tie for whatever reason, then you could compare total point differential and estimated strength of schedule just by looking at who's played who, where it's been, results were, all that.
That's a lot of shit. Okay. All right.
That's
So
that's the basic idea.
that's the basis of it. Okay. All right. So stay here with us because we're going to go through these rankings. But let me bring Wink in real quick before we start doing these. Wink, you had a little different methodology, I feel like, for your rankings. Would you want to share some of that with the crowd here?
Chaos.
Fucking chaos.
Is that it?
No.
It's just chaos.
Just chaos. Just chaos. No,
He just
no,
rolls a dice and it's just there.
Yeah.
I don't take a lot of stock into the tournament we just had. I mean, it's a cool experience and whatnot, but shit wasn't set right. Teams didn't have all their shit done. So, like, cool that Auburn won it. Yay, go them. Fuck them too. But, you know, those teams that really, like, shocked the world, I can't take a lot of stock in it because it's not apples to apples with what we're going to see this week.
Okay. How long are you driving? Hey, are you driving for a little bit, Wink?
An hour and 48 minutes.
Okay. So as we go through these, you can still throw in your 2 cents here and there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
You mute me, and when you want me to talk,
Okay.
unmute me.
All right. That's good enough. Can you see that, or you want me to just call on you?
Just call me.
Okay. You sounded like you had one more thing that you wanted to say.
So when I did my rankings, I primarily weighted roster strength over results.
Okay.
So if you had, like, it's not going to be a shock. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preview, but Iowa is in my top 10.
Wah, 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 wah. Wait, Michaela, where are you?
They suck. Yep, where are you?
I'm waiting for the wah, 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 wah. Michaela's
She's looking for it. She's looking for it. There we go.
I'm like, we gotta change that. Dave's not here to Michaela's not here.
I got a reaction to him putting Iowa in the top 10.
You what?
You what? All right, Wink, finish it. Wait, this guy stinks. Oh my God, this is gonna be a shit.
When we get there, I'll talk about
Okay.
it. I just wanted to give you a little preview.
Okay, all right.
A little bit of insight.
I'm muting you for now, and I will come back to you in a minute.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Wink is now server muted. I'm gonna hit the chat real quick. Guy Clausen is in the house. Guy Clausen, good to see you, buddy. Gunny saying that Tennessee is in the top 25. Ooh, it's gonna be close. I don't know. Blake saying a couple things. Lisa's saying right back at you. I think that has to do with the Auburn thing because Private Clam said "fuck you too, Wink," and flip. Wow, a lot of people mad at Wink for his comment. Auburn about to be 0-1, says Goals official.
Probably why Lisa said right back at you.
Gunny. Oh, so Gunny says, is Keith related to Dwayne? I think, you know what, when he was saying that, I was thinking more of Jack's data dude. What was his name, Gunny? That's who I was thinking of. Beard says, oh, fuck, I already said his name. Damn it. I should have not said his name and just said Dave won't acknowledge me. How long will it be for someone to take to beat Auburn? Hopefully 1 week. Beard says, does the KMPR account for Syracuse? Didn't. And I think that's about it for now. Blowout index sounds like something somebody's mom would have come up with. Yeah, your mom. All right. How come we don't have a your mom fucking soundboard? That's what we need is more sound. We need some more soundboard buttons. All right.
All right. I'm making notes. I'm making notes.
All right. Here we go. All right. So we're already. Hey, imagine that we're running long on the show. I can't believe that one of my shows is running long. It's crazy. It's a miracle. All right.
What do you mean hour long? We got 15 minutes.
Yeah, but we've got like 3 more fucking things to do. We got 2 more things to do after we do the top fucking.
Sorry, we had the nerd explanation from.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Kyle.
Ooh, there it is. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. So, for Dave, Ray, Wink, and KMPR, they all came up with the same number 1 team, which was Auburn. 3 of the 4 came up with. So this is where I think Wink was talking. I'm not going to unmute him right now. I'm just going to say something. I'll unmute him in a second. But I think Wink takes more into consideration how teams did last season, how they got better or worse in the offseason than he does with what people did in the tournament, which is kind of what he explained a few minutes ago. And I think there's your first, Ray, right? I think that's the first indication right there is LSU at number 2.
That's definitely the first one.
All right. I did fuck up for a second. There was a split second where everything showed for a second, so hopefully not everybody saw that. All right. Number 3. This is where it gets crazy. This is where I am going to bring Wink back in. I know he teased the fucking Iowa thing, but he didn't tease the Tennessee thing. All right, Wink, you're back on the air. Wow, your road noise is even louder.
Yeah, well, I'm now going 80 miles an hour. So.
Okay. All right. All right, real quick. I could understand the argument for LSU. Explain to us in about 20 seconds your argument for Tennessee as the 3rd best team in all the land, bro. That is just beyond crazy for me personally at this juncture.
Dude, how do I have to explain it to you? Who was the fucking league MVP in our first inaugural season?
But that was 2 seasons ago, bro. I'm not,
right,
dude.
And now he's a junior, and he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Dude, I'm not here saying the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl because they won the 1957 fucking championship.
Hold on, you're basing an entire team off of one person.
100%.
100%.
Can't fucking Dangerfield. Cannot fucking Dangerfield.
So he's
made his ass look like a baby.
Are you literally? There's like nothing else for Tennessee. It's all him.
It's all they need.
Okay, you're going back up.
I think they're gonna figure it out from what they did.
All right, they were 2 and out of the tournament, and you're going back on mute, Mister.
Yeah, his 20 seconds are up.
I can't fucking handle that. Okay, and listen, no disrespect to my boys over there. I love my Tennessee guys, Gunny and Freddie and all them, but they are not the fucking 3rd best team in the land. Ray, what do you think about that?
They are definitely not the 3rd best team. I mean, they literally. I mean, ranking them below Tennessee or LSU, I can agree with, but no, there's no way. Tennessee losing to Florida in the first round just to try to go to a losers bracket round. I don't think you base this off of an MVP in the inaugural season.
Okay, Keith, let me just give you a quick few seconds, like 15 seconds. How shocked are you that Wink has Tennessee as the 3rd best team in the land?
Wink was definitely high when he made his rank. All I'm thinking.
Wink is confirmed to be the CFP in real life.
Oh my God, Booger Conway. Yeah, we've been live for about almost an hour already, bro. Thanks. Welcome to the show, though, man. Welcome to the show. All right, here we go. So your top 25% is going to end up, looks like pretty much Ohio State, but then look who Wink has again.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm not going to keep going back to him after.
Are you kidding me? That is just stupid.
That is just stupid.
Syracuse football sucks.
Oh my God, I'm dying over here. All right, and I'll get his explanation on that in a minute. I'm like, if I had to go to Wink for every time I thought one of his picks was wrong, we'd be here for like 2 fucking hours. So, all right, there's your top 4. It's pretty much Auburn, Penn State, Nebraska, Ohio State. It looks like.
I'm surprised everybody else agreed with me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have any arguments, so I'm going to move on to number 5. Number 5. We got 1 vote for Notre Dame, 2 for LSU, but once again, Wink comes in with Alabama, of all teams. So, I think that Dave, Ray, and KMPR so far are all kind of seeing the same thing. I don't know what Wink is doing over there, but we'll find out here in a couple minutes when I go back to him. Number 6. LSU, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Notre Dame, basically all the teams that were in that 3 to 6 range, so I don't have any issues with that so far either. Number 7. Kansas. We see Kansas and Florida State now for the first time. We see Kansas twice, and we see Notre Dame. Real quick, just yes or no, Steve and Keith, any issues with Kansas and Florida being in the top 10? Hello? Is this thing on?
All right, good talk.
I'm thinking here. Listen, I don't know. The one problem for me I have with this is how many turnovers Tommy Tebow has. He has a history of that.
That's true too. Okay. Number 8. UNLV sees their first. Now, Ray, we talked about this at the top of the show. I think UNLV is a sleeper team. Robo threw for over 500 yards in every single game he played in the tournament. I think I see UNLV as a sneaky threat, as a dark horse. It looks like KMPR sees Alabama. Wink sees Iowa. But you look like, Ray, you're still pretty steady, bringing Kansas in at number 8. Do you have any issues with the other 3 picks, UNLV, Iowa, or Alabama at number 8?
Why Iowa? I mean,
actually, you know what?
You gotta get Swifty in here.
Oh, Mark Chisholm. Mark Chisholm just jumped in. Mark, good to see you, buddy. Ray, what were you gonna say?
Listen, for a second going through 1 through 6, I was about to sit here and ask fucking Kevin why the hell he was copying off my sheet.
Oh, fucking Kevin, Keith, Kenny, whatever the fuck we said the other night. All right, I'm gonna unmute Wink to listen to all his road noise and have him explain to us. I guess we kind of got the Tennessee version, but I'm dying to hear about Syracuse, Alabama, and Iowa. Wink, you're back on the air.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to the Wink Road Show, where chaos is number 1 and fuck yous are number 2.
Apparently, you did that throughout your entire list.
I thought fuck yous were number 1 with the middle finger.
That's true. That's a good point, actually. Well, maybe.
Well, I guess fuck yous were number 1.
Or actually, if you have 2 middle fingers up, it could be number 2, I guess. So. All right, Wink.
Do you know how hard it was to put Syracuse in my top 10? But I putting fingers up and I put it there.
Wait, Wink.
I think. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say to repeat yourself because I couldn't hear you, but go ahead.
I think people are sleeping on teams from last season, and I know all these new teams want to come in and show out, and trust me, some of them have a lot of potential. But there was just so much that wasn't right in the tournament that you're going to see drastically different teams in week 1. And nobody is taking stock of that because they want to look at the results that they saw and they want to take it for what they think is going to be real life. And Iowa was very strong at the beginning of last year. I think they're going to be very strong at the beginning of this year, and then they're going to fall off the rails because, it's Iowa. But I think they're probably going to go 3-0 before they take their first loss.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
I put him up in there.
Okay. I'm putting you back on mute. Here's what I have to say. Here's how you kind of sum up what Wink is saying. Dare I use another quote from Fast and the Furious? But you can't just climb into the ring with Ali just because you think you can box, right? And maybe that's what Ohio State, Nebraska, and Notre Dame are doing. But does he have a point, Ray, that because the tournament wasn't as accurate as the regular season will be, with people falling behind on their player builds, schools falling behind on their offensive line builds, adding 25 more people to the ranks while I was gone those 2 weeks, etc. Are those all important factors? And is he onto something?
No, I don't think he's onto something. I mean, if those, I understand those were factors in the preseason tournament, but this is why we have 15 weeks.
This is why
of course, the first week is not going to be all that correct to everybody's standards and eyes. That's why we have 15 weeks to adjust this and go accordingly.
Well, Beard seems to think in the chat that he's onto something. Beard, if you want to type something out, I'll read it when you're done. We are running behind. We're going to go a few minutes long, believe it or not. Can you believe one of my shows is going long? Let's finish up the top 10. Remember, we're only doing the top 10. So we got UNLV, Kansas, Iowa, Alabama at number 8 across the board. Number 9, Florida, Miami makes their first appearance, Ray, and I can only imagine based on their offensive production that probably had a lot to do with it in the tournament. Florida on there twice. Syracuse finally makes their other debut. And then at number 10, another Miami. Tennessee makes another appearance, and Kansas and Florida make a couple more appearances. Ray, what's your thought on bringing Miami and Tennessee there at 9 and 10?
I mean, listen, Miami only lost the 10 points against Nebraska in the first round, and then dropped down to the losers bracket, completely destroyed Iowa, and then wasn't a close game, but gave a hell of a scare to Florida. I believe Miami deserved a top 10 spot after that, and including even Tennessee. I mean, dropping in the first round, whatever, but beating Virginia Tech by 21, and then only losing to LSU by 19. Tennessee's got that room for improvement, and that's what I see in them.
Okay, so Keith, let me bring you in here for your final thoughts before I reveal the official rankings for week 1 there on the right side of the graphic. What are your thoughts on this overall with the 4 people and all the picks for the top 10s?
I mean, aside from, I guess you could just disregard Wink's top 10 since he was not sober when he created it. But
Wink's your drunk uncle just making a
dude. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if Tennessee, Syracuse, and Iowa and Alabama all fucking win this week. Just saying.
You were drunk.
But yeah, I mean, of the 3 sentient people that put together a ranking, there was a lot of agreement. So I think, a lot of people are putting stock into the results from the preseason tournament, and I know that there was a lot of experimentation, right? But of course, everyone was experimenting. Everyone had something wrong with them.
All right. Well,
that's a good point I just saw in chat. There's no Penn State in the top 10 for Wink.
That sounds like personal. I'll have to ask him about that when I bring him back on here in a minute. Let's whip through this because we are definitely going over time. So how much time we go over is how much I'm going to push the kickoff back. Just FYI, because I want to leave 30 minutes between the show and the game to prepare so I can load the game and get everything ready. All right, let's whip through this real quick, and then we're going to do our pick'ems, and then we'll briefly discuss. Actually, I might save that for the show, or I might save that for the game, Ray, for us to talk about the week 1 matchup. Here we go. Week 1 preseason rankings. These are your official rankings. Beard, go fuck yourself. Auburn, number 1. Penn State, number 2.
Much to Wink's demise.
Yes. Number 3, Nebraska. Now, remember, this is based on these 4. I took a cumulative, the whole average thing, blah, 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 of Dave, Ray, Wink, and KMPR. I really just like saying KMP better. I might have to change that back. Number 4. Number 4, Ohio State. So Ohio State, so look at this. 2 brand new teams in the top 4. So either we're onto something or Wink is onto something. We're going to find out here in the next few weeks. Number 5, LSU. LSU starting off at number 5. They were your runner-up last season. Number 6, Notre Dame, another new team. So half of the top 6 is all brand new squads. Number 7, Kansas, the only team to beat Auburn. And Kansas, like I said earlier, they do things kind of quiet. They do it on the down low. But they are in the top 10 to kick off season 3. Number 8, Florida. Wink's team does make the top 10 at number 8. Number 9, Miami sneaks in with a couple votes there at the end, with Miami at 9 and 10.
I got you, Miami.
And number 10, Alabama. Alabama, but there's a tie at number 10. It's Alabama and Tennessee with the same amount of points. So we'll have a tie at number 10. Those are your rankings. And I'm going to go to Wink one last time before we go around the horn and do our pick'ems. Wink, you've got the floor one last time to kind of give us your overview of what you've seen so far here on this ranking.
All right, first off, the Penn State was 100% intentional. Every time I picked them last year, they let me down. So if I want them to be
It's
Auburn,
fucking personal, Penn State.
if I wanted them to be Auburn this week, I couldn't pick them. So I couldn't pick them. So, sorry but not sorry. Prove me wrong. I would love it.
Oh, my God. So Penn State, now you know. Crazy Canuck, David Leathers, Krieg, all you guys, Guy Clausen, it's personal with Wink, just so you know.
You go into Florida or Penn State whenever y'all face each other and you make it personal.
Make it fucking personal. All right. All right, Wink, I'm going to mute you one more time. Do you want to do the pick'ems? Because I'll have to mute and unmute you every time. Or how about I just bring you in every...
No, you're good.
All right.
You're good.
All right, I'm going to come back to you at the end of the show, so just hold on a second. Okay, we're just going to whip through me, Ray, and Keith real quick then on these pick'ems. As you see, though, there's your official top 10, a tie at number 10, a lot of new teams in that top half. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, that's not. Oh, we're not going to do that, are we? Real quick, we were going to talk about this, but we're not going to. But there's your rosters. If you want to go back and look, you can look at it as I'm looking for my other graphic. How about that?
You can show that before the game.
Yeah, I'm going to anyway. But that was what we were going to do. All right, real quick. So I'm going to go to Ray, then I'm going to go to Keith, and then I'm going to give mine, and we're just going to whip right through. Starting off tonight, game number 1 of season 3, Auburn traveling to Penn State. Ray, who you got?
It was a close one. I almost went a different direction, but I chose Auburn over Penn State.
All right, Keith.
The streak ends tonight.
I think I'm with Keith. Remember, we didn't bring this up, Ray, which I'm sure we would have if we had talked about this game at the end of the show. But Penn State really lost that championship possibly on a glitch, right? So the streak could technically almost be over.
Yeah, the new cover for the new video game, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So Penn State now with revenge on their mind, a rematch, and they get to play at home at Happy Valley. I'm taking the Nittany Lions all the way. Ray, Ohio State at your Notre Dame. I'm sure you're picking Notre Dame, but tell me why.
Yeah, I have to go with Notre Dame here. Honestly, and I said the last one was close. This was probably even closer. I almost went Ohio State, but I went Notre Dame because I believe in my team. I believe in our boys.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish, Ray.
And I feel like our offense is just on fire, and our defense has finally found that rhythm. I mean, our defense, I think in the preseason, had 3 pick sixes that entire preseason tournament, and that was amazing.
That is amazing. I meant to say as we go along each one, Auburn at Penn State. Penn State is up in the pick'em because I want to give what the community is saying as well. In the pick'ems in the AACL server, 48-35 Penn State, and then on this game, I will tell you after Keith gives me his pick.
And yours.
You know, I think this is probably my big upset pick of the week. I'm going Ohio State. These teams are both good. We all know that. I think Ohio State's going to get it done.
All right. I think this game is super close. We saw a super close game between them in the tournament. I don't remember where that game was, Ray. Were you at home?
Oh, I don't think Ohio State and Notre Dame
Didn't you?
fought.
I thought you guys played
It
in
was at Ohio State.
Yeah, I think you guys played in the
Did
second.
we?
Yeah, you played in the first.
Oh yeah, they knocked us out of the winners bracket. That's right.
Yeah. And it was at Ohio State. So I think that these two teams are so close that home field is what tips the scale. So I take Notre Dame over Ohio State, but just barely. Also, Nate Hall says at Notre Dame. Oh, it was at Notre Dame. Really? Interesting.
The bracket says it was supposed to be at Notre Dame, but I don't think we had our first home game until the losers bracket.
Oh, I wonder if it was on a neutral field, maybe. But
Probably.
the AACL community in the pick'ems in the server 64-21, a 3-1 advantage for the Fighting Irish. That's unbelievable. Game number 3, Missouri. Actually, these aren't in order. I'm just going up. They're not in order played. There's order of the graphic. Missouri at UNLV. Ray, who you got?
Taking UNLV over Missouri.
Keith?
I agree. I think Robo's too much for Mizzou's defense.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And again, I'm kind of a home field advantage guy. I think when I'm splitting hairs, I think that factors in for me. If this game was at Mizzou, I might go Mizzou, but I'm definitely going UNLV, as well as the community, almost 3-1 as well, again, for UNLV, 63-23 in the AACL pick'ems. Miami at Iowa. We all know Miami really just embarrassed Iowa. Doubled them up 70-35. Ray, does that happen again? And who you got?
Nope, we got the revenge tour happening. Iowa takes out Miami.
Okay, Iowa taking out Miami, says Ray. Keith?
I don't think so. Miami had one of the top offenses in the preseason tournament. Iowa's struggled with defense all of last season, and they did in the preseason tournament. I don't see them making that much of an adjustment. I'm going Miami.
I'm kind of on this new team trend. And from what I saw Miami in the tournament and with Iowa's struggles from the second half of last season into the preseason, until Iowa shows me something, I won't feel confident picking them. So I'm going Miami on this one. AACL Nation, Miami at Iowa, 63-31. So doubling up the Iowa Hawkeyes in the pick'em, just like they double them up in the tournament. Hey-oh, da-dunch. All right, Florida at Tennessee. Ray?
Damn. Looking at what the Discord vote was, apparently I got the upset. Florida over Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm blown away. This is the biggest margin of victory out of all the games, and it kind of blows my mind. So you're going Tennessee. Keith?
Nope, Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're going Florida?
Yes.
Sorry. Keith?
This game was close in preseason tournament. I think it's going to be close again, but Tennessee's got home field advantage. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the home field advantage gives Tennessee the win, but I am blown away because I see this as a pick'em, right, as a toss-up. But AACL Nation, 72-20 in favor of Tennessee. I'll get Wink's opinion on that as we wrap up the show here in a couple minutes. Maybe it's just some hate towards Wink for his hate against Penn State. I don't know if it's revenge from the community or what, but we'll find out. Ray, Alabama at Kansas, who you got?
I'm gonna take the Tide over the Jayhawks here.
That's a good. This is another close. I think all these games seem kind of close to me for the most part. Keith?
I agree, Dave. A lot of these games are close. This game, Kansas got home field advantage. I think Howitzer is going to do his thing and run for 1,000,000 yards like he does every other game.
Yeah.
I think KU takes it.
Daniel Gunn is doing a phenomenal job filling in for David Ware over there, keeping Alabama together. If Alabama was at full strength, I would probably pick Alabama in this game, but because of that, I'm going Kansas. AACL community, 63-27 in favor of Alabama. I'm a little surprised by that. LSU at Nebraska. This is another rematch game from the tournament. Ray, who you got?
Oh God, I don't want to get hit here.
You're fired. You're fucking fired after one show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fucking fired. I'm gonna die. Basically, to one person alone that's in here and not talking. Go Tigers.
Really? she already had her finger on the fucking button, ready for you.
Fired.
Go Tigers.
Gunny says Chris Lee stuffed the ballot box for Tennessee.
This guy stinks.
This guy stinks. Wow, Ray. So Nebraska's win at LSU in the tournament doesn't mean anything to you, I guess, huh?
No, it does not.
It does. All right, so now all of a sudden you're Wink's
Listen,
buddy. Now
if
you're Wink's
Wink-
buddy.
If Wink's top 10 doesn't matter about preseason, then my picks definitely don't matter.
fuck.
And we've learned something about my picks. I became a jinx in the beginning of that shit.
Oh my god. Okay. I can't wait to bring Wink in at the end of all this. Keith, who you got in this LSU Nebraska game? I know you probably have Nebraska like I do, but tell me why we're gonna crush LSU again.
We did in the preseason tournament. That's all I'm gonna say there.
That's it. And you know what? All I'm gonna say is LSU, we're undefeated against you. So come talk to me once you actually finally beat us. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, keep that ego.
And plus, Eagle reminds us, fuck Frank. I forgot about that. Thank you, Eagle. I appreciate that. All right, speaking of Eagle, let's wrap this up on the very last pick'em of week 1. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Ray.
I said in the beginning, Syracuse sucks. But I'm still picking.
Syracuse football sucks.
I'm still gonna pick them over Virginia Tech.
Keith, who you got?
I think this is going to be closer than most people think. Virginia Tech has more players. They're running a different offense because they were running that Air Force, I think, offense in the preseason tournament. Now they're running, what is it, Illinois or whatever? I don't know. I think it's going to be closer than most people think, but I don't know, man.
They're running BYU in New Mexico. I think isn't BYU a pistol offense, or is that a?
I believe so.
I was talking about Virginia Tech.
Oh, I'm sorry. Virginia Tech has Illinois, North Carolina State.
Right, yeah. I think it's going to be closer than most people think, but I'm still going to go Syracuse here. I think Taz is too polished as a junior.
Okay, Beard reminded me BYU is air raid, actually. Thank you, Beard. Appreciate it. Beard, did you ever answer my question? Because I never went back to look after I asked you to put it in there. Tell me you don't know football without telling me. I don't know what that was for. I mean, Dave stacked the deck. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Kansas is a pity. Bro, I don't see, did you not do it? Campers top 10. No, I guess you didn't. Okay. I'm also going with Virginia Tech for a couple reasons. I love both these quarterbacks. I love Taz. I love Robo. And to be honest with you, Robo struggled last season. Oh, fuck. Why do I keep saying Robo? I keep thinking Robo's on Virginia Tech. I need to get my fucking roster updated. I should be fired.
Does that switch your pick now?
It does, actually. So I think Chevy Monte Carlo fucking struggled in the tournament. And a lot, how I mentioned earlier, how Iowa's got to impress me before I can pick them. I feel the same way about Virginia Tech. I think until I can see Chevy Monte Carlo put together an entire game and show us something, that the one of only 2 juniors in the entire AACL, Taz Von Wolfswinkel at quarterback at Syracuse, has a huge advantage. So I go Syracuse for sure. I'm going to bring Wink in, and then we're going to wrap up the show. I want to be off the air in 2 minutes. We're going to push the kickoff to 8:45 tonight, but we'll get this down. Remember, this is just first show. We're still trying to figure out timing and stuff, so we'll get better. But Wink, give me your thoughts, not only on maybe some of these pick'ems, but anything else you want to get off your chest in about, I don't know, 45 seconds.
There's my cancel.
Well, I think it's pretty funny that, I have Tennessee ranked 3 and everybody fucking laughs at me, but the community seems to think they're going to fucking blow us out of the fucking water. So who's smoke crack now? I think they're going to blow us out of the water too. We're a very, very young team. And I know it's going to be very shocking if we do compete this year. We're a lot younger than we were last year, and we've lost some people through the preseason.
All right.
So I think Tennessee's going to fucking blow us out of the water too, even though I picked Florida. Let's see here. Taz needs to stay healthy. If Taz can stay healthy, Syracuse has a chance. But if it's a close game, Syracuse loses because they suck. Who's Notre Dame play again? Ohio State?
Ohio State, yeah.
Notre Dame's gonna fucking blow them out of the water. It's gonna be great. they're gonna beat Ohio State so bad they're gonna go to Michigan. It's just inevitable.
Ooh. Hold on. I know the lingo for the Ohio State. You got to say that team up north.
That team up north.
team up north.
Or that team down south now. Oh, by the way, real quick, I forgot to mention LSU Nebraska pick'ems in the community. Nebraska 54-35 over LSU, and on the last game, Syracuse and Virginia Tech 77-14. That is now the biggest margin. Actually, Wink, I'm gonna. Sorry, I gotta mute him. Syracuse 77, Virginia Tech 14. That is now the biggest margin of victory, which I'm a little surprised by. All right, it's 8:15. We're going to go off the air in about 30 seconds. So final thoughts, 10 seconds each. Ray, you get the first 10 seconds.
Fuck you, Michaela. There's plenty more weeks to go. You can take one loss and suck it the hell up.
Okay. Keith, 10 seconds.
You're fired. Wrong.
The wait is over. Let's play some fucking football.
Boom shakalaka. All right, folks, this has been the very first ever in the history of the entire world. You can look back and tell your grandchildren, I was there when? When we had the first AACL Tonight episode. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We stayed over 40. We hit 50 at one point. We stayed over 40 for the entire show. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And I will see you in about 45 minutes so we can play some fucking football. Let's get it on!
Way to go, champ!